Now, dear students, though this topic is easy or is believed to be easy, but there have been times when some unique, out of the box questions have been asked based on problems of age determination. So let's have a look at those problems. So here's the first one. A man born in the first half of the 19th century was X years old in the year X square. Now, what is being conveyed or what is the real essence of this question is, please try to understand. Let's suppose a person was born in 1560 AD. 1560 AD. Now consider when he was 40 years old. So when this person was 40 years old, the date or the year then would have been 1600 AD. So date was 1600 AD and age was 40 years. So coincidentally 1600 is equal to 40 square. So he was X years old. He was 40 years old in the year 40 square. So 1600 is equal to 40 square. So this is the premise of the question, that we have taken just an example, but this question is based on 19th century. So I just took an example to help you understand that what is the real meaning or what is the crux of this question. Now, but this question is based on first half of 19th century. So 19th century, first half of 19th century. That means this guy was born somewhere between 1800 AD and 1850 AD. So now let's try to solve this question, this particular question. So let's see if we apply the same concept here. We know that the man was born in first half of 19th century. So this man was born somewhere here, somewhere between, we don't know exact, but he was X years old in the year X square. So just we saw that 1600 AD was equal to 40 square. So there must come a particular date, that means 1800 something AD, which is equal to a perfect square. Just like 1600 was a perfect square, it was a square of 40. Similarly in 18th century, I'm not saying in this very time period, somewhere in 18th century, there must come a date which is a perfect square. But the thing is that if you try to find out the square root of these two numbers, this is 42 point something and this is 43 point something. So it means the only perfect square between these two numbers is 43 square, and 43 square is 1849 AD. So there is only one case that fits, 1849 AD. So 1849 AD is equal to 43 square. So it means that the person was 43 years old in the year 43 square AD. 43 square AD is equal to 1849 AD. So a person who was 43 years old in 1849, he must have been born in, so date of birth or year of birth. So in 1849 he is 43 years old. So he was born 43 years ago. So he was born in 1806 AD. So 1806. Let's move to the next question. At the end of 1894, Suresh was half as old as his grandmother. The sum of the years of their birth is 3644. How old Suresh was at the end of 1899? Very, very, very good question. So you should give it a try on your own first. So let's see. So let's suppose let's understand this with the help of a timeline. It will be easiest. So let's suppose this is 0 AD. So grandmother was born. Grandmother was born, let's suppose, in the year X AD. In the year X AD. So at the end of 1894, at the end of 1894. So this is 1894 AD. Let's suppose Suresh was born somewhere in between. So what is Suresh's age? Suresh's age is this gap. This gap. What is grandmother's age? Grandmother's age is this gap. So she was born here. This much time has passed by then. So whatever time has passed after you are born is your age. So if I say that 12 years have passed since my son was born, so I am trying to say that my son is 12 years old. So whatever time has passed after your birth, that is your age. So we know that Suresh was half as old as his grandmother. So Suresh is half as old as his grandmother, means this gap is half of this gap, or else you can say that this Suresh's age divides, this is X, this is 1894. Suresh's age is exactly midway of this. That's why Suresh's age this much is half of this much. That's why you can say that Suresh's age is lies exactly midway between X and 1894. So you can represent the ages in this way. This is 0 AD. Grandmother was born in X AD. So grandmother was born. Currently, this is 1894 AD. So Suresh was born exactly midway. So Suresh was born in the year midway. That means average of X and 1894. So this is Suresh's year of birth. Now sum of their year of birth is 3644. So year of birth, grandmother's year of birth is X. Suresh's year of birth is this much. So this is equal to 0.5x plus 947. So the sum of their year of birth, that means X plus this much, 0.5x plus 947. So this is given to be equal to 3644. So let's solve this. 1.5x plus 947 is equal to 3644. If you solve this, x comes out to be equal to, so x comes out to be 1798. 1798. So what is Suresh's age? Suresh's age is 0.5x plus 947. Therefore, Suresh's date of birth, Suresh's year of birth we can determine. So x came out to be equal to 1798. So based on that, Suresh's age is 0.5x plus 947. So this comes out to be 1798 by 2 plus 947. So that is equal to 1846. 1846. So the question is, how old Suresh was at the end of 1899? So in the year 1899, Suresh was 53 years old. So 1899 minus 1846. So 53. So in 1896 he was, sorry, in 1899 he was 53 years old. Let's move to the next one. A certain company allows an employee to retire when the employee's age plus year of employment with the company totals at least 70. In what year could a female employee hired in 1986 on her 32nd birthday retire? So now let us see, this is a good question. Let us see what is meant by this. So let's take an example. Suppose somebody joined the company when he was already 40 years old. So let's suppose he worked for X years. So in those X years, his age also increases. So as per the company's policy, he will retire on the day on which age plus experience is equal to 70. Experience means number of number of years he have already worked. So let's suppose he joined on his 32nd birthday and he retired after working for X years. So when this person retired, when the person retired after working for X years, so at the time of retirement, his age was equal to, so he joined when he was 32 years old. So I am assuming he worked for X years and then he retired. So when he retired, his age was 32 plus X and years of experience, years of work X. For how many years did he work in that company? X years. So as per the company's policy, sum of these two numbers must be equal to 70. So 32 plus X must be equal to 70. If you solve, X comes out to be equal to 19. So it means he worked in the company for a total of 19 years. So he joined in the year 1986 and worked for 19 years. So therefore, year of retirement will be equal to what? 1986 plus 19. So this comes out to be equal to 2005 AD. Okay, let's see this one. The sum of reciprocal of the ages of two colleagues is 5 times the difference of reciprocal of their ages. So let these two colleagues be A and B and their ages be A and small b. So what is being said? The sum of reciprocals of their ages. So sum of reciprocal. So reciprocal 1 by A plus 1 by B. So this sum of reciprocals is 5 times the difference of reciprocals. So this is equal to 5 times the difference of reciprocal. So this is given if the ratio of product of their ages, so product of their ages, this ratio to the sum of their ages. So this is the ratio of product to sum. So this is given as 14.4 by 1. So you can say 144 by 10, 72 by 5. Now please understand how to solve this question. Take the reverse of it. If AB by A plus B is known, so you can say that A plus B by AB is equal to reverse 5 by 72, 5 by 72. So the advantage of doing this, you will realize immediately. It means A by AB, that means 1 by B plus 1 by A is equal to 5 by 72. So this is the advantage that you will get. Immediately you have the value for this. So substituting the value of 1 by A plus 1 by B here. So 1 by A plus 1 by B. Now that can be said that 5 by 72 is equal to 5 times of 1 by A minus 1 by B. So from here you can say that 1 by A minus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 72. So Now we know the value of 1 by A plus 1 by B and as well as 1 by A minus 1 by B. So let's see. So 1 by A plus 1 by B is also known and 1 by A minus 1 by B is also known. So let's see. So 1 by A plus 1 by B is 5 by 72 and 1 by A minus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 72. So if you add these two, so 2 by A is equal to 6 by 72. So that is equal, it means 2 by A is equal to 1 by 12. So it means A is equal to 24. So A is equal to 24. If you substitute here, you will see that B is equal to 36. So this way you can find out. Let's move to the next one. The sum of reciprocals of ages of two sisters is 5 times the difference of the reciprocal of their ages. So let their ages be A and B. So same concept, sum of reciprocals. So 1 by A plus 1 by B, this is the sum, is 5 times the difference of their reciprocals. If the ratio of the product of their ages, that means AB by A plus B, is given to be equal to 12 by 1, then you should take the reverse, is equal to 1 by 12. So from here 1 by A plus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 12. So you can substitute this here. So 1 by 12 is equal to 5 times 1 by A minus 1 by B. So from here 1 by A minus 1 by B comes out to be equal to 1 by 60. So let's see. So now 1 by A plus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 12 and 1 by A minus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 60. So if you add these two up, so 2 by A is equal to 60, 6 by 60. So it means A is equal to, so this is 6 by 60 is equal to, so A is equal to 20. So if A is equal to 20, you can find the value of B. So I am substituting this value in this equation. So 1 by 20 plus 1 by B is equal to 1 by 12. So from here 1 by B is equal to, you can take a 60 as common, so 5 minus 3, so 2 by 60. So from here B is equal to 30. So the ages are 20 and 30. So A is equal to 20, B is equal to 30. So what is the question? What is the age of the elder sister? So age of the elder sister, 30 years. So this is a very, very good question. So if you like, you can try on your own. So anyways, when I become as old as my father is now, I will be 5 times the current age of my son. So 3 people, the narrator, his father and his son. In addition, my son will be 8 years older than what I am now. If the sum of my father's age and my age is equal to 100, how old is my son? So let's draw the timeline for the current scenario. Currently, how things are placed. So 3 people are there, the narrator or the speaker, his son and his father. So let's suppose he is the speaker or the narrator. Let me call him the person, his son and his father. So these are his current ages. So what he's saying, when I become as old as my father is now, so he's saying that when I become this old, then I will be 5 times the current age of my son. So basically he's trying to say that this age is 5 times the current age of my son when I become 5 times, when I become as old as my father. So he's saying when I become this age, so this age is 5 times the current age of my son. So let the current age of the son be x. So father's current age is 5x. Also we know that the sum of the person and his father's age is 100. So the person's age must be 100 minus 5x. So you can say in terms of x, these are their current ages. Now what is being said? When I become as old as my father is now. So if I shift this much in time, then everybody's age will shift. Son will also grow old. So shifting future forward in time means growing old. So he's saying if I grow from this age to this age, that means son will also grow. So son will then become x plus 8 years old. So son becomes from x, son becomes x plus, my son will be 8 years older than what I am now. So his son will change from x to 100 minus 5x plus 8. So he will become 8 years even more elder than his current age. So his current age is 100 minus 5x. So he says that in the time I move from 100 minus 5x to 100, so in that time my son moves from x to this much. So it means this gap is exactly equal to this gap. So gap means difference. So you can say that the difference between, so difference between 100 minus 5x plus 8 minus x, so this difference, that means son moved forward in time by this much, that means this gap, this time period is equal to this time period. This is not 100 but this is 5x. So this means in the time the son's age changes from x to this much, the narrator's age changes from 100 minus 5x to this much. So we can say that 100 minus 5x plus 8. So in the time this gap is equal to 5x minus 100 minus 5x. So let's solve this. So 100 minus 5x plus 8 minus x is equal to 5x minus 100 minus minus plus. So let's see. So this 100 will go the other side. So 208 is equal to 5x plus x6. So is equal to 16x. So x is equal to 208 by 16, that is equal to 13. So x comes out to be equal to 13. So what is the question? How old is my son now? So his son is x years old. So 13 years old. Okay, let's see this question. The average age of husband, wife and their children 3 years ago. So average age, husband, wife and child 3 years ago was 27 years, and that of wife and child 5 years ago was 20 years. So let's understand. 5 years ago, sum of mother, or say wife plus child, the average was 20 years. So 5 years ago, now please understand, you can use a shortcut here. So if 5 years ago the average was 20, so what would be the current average? So the current average would be 25. Please understand, 5 years ago mother and child, their average was 20. So currently, that means 5 years later, so each of them would have aged, increase of age of 5. So average also changes by exactly 5. So you can say, you can reinterpret the data that 5 years ago, if the average was 20, that means today their average is 25. So you can say the average age of wife and child today, average age of wife plus child today would be equal to 25, because 20 was the average 5 years ago. So today that is 25 years. Similarly, the average age of husband, wife and their child 3 years ago was 27. So if you bring that currently, so similarly average age of husband plus wife plus child today would be 30, 27 plus 3, so 30 years. So now let's solve this. Therefore, sum of ages of all three family members. So 30 into 3, because average of 3 people is 30. So 30 into 3, that is equal to 90. Whereas sum of ages of wife and child, so their average today is 25. So their sum today would be 25 into 2, that is equal to 50. So sum of ages of husband plus wife plus child is equal to 90, whereas sum of only wife and child is equal to 50. Therefore, man's age or husband's age will be 90 minus 50, 40 years. So the concept is, if you know the average in future or in past, bring it to current average. Don't solve it as it is. So let's take next example. The average age of a family of 6 members 4 years ago was 25 years. Meanwhile, a child was born in this family and still the average age of the whole family is same today. So initially there were 6 family members, and their average age 4 years ago was 25 years. This was 4 years ago. A child was also born. But if you ignore that child for the meanwhile, if you consider only this 6 family members, then today the same 6 family members, the group is same, their average will increase by 4 years. So today, if you try to find out the average of these 6 people, it comes out to be equal to 29 years. But the thing is, a child is also born. So let the age of the child be X. So let child's age be equal to X. Therefore, sum of all the family members is equal to sum of this group plus sum of age of this child. So age of this group is what? 29 into 6 plus age of the child is X. Number of family members increases from 6 to 7 because child is also included. So therefore new average, this has to be divided by 7. So 29 into 6, so that is equal to 174. So 174 plus X when divided by 7, the average of the whole family is same. It is same as was 4 years ago. So this is equal to 25. So if you solve this, 25 sevens are 175. X comes out to be equal to 1. So X is equal to 1 years. Let's take the next one. 4 years ago, the average age of a family of 9 members was 31 years. So 4 years ago. So this is current. This happened 4 years ago. 4 years ago, there was a group of 9 people, 9 members. So their average was 31. 2 years later, that means 2 years after that. So you can say, if you look from current perspective, that means 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, a man died at an age of 41 years. So 2 years ago, so let's find what was the change that occurred in the average 2 years ago. So 2 years ago, number of family members reduced by 1. So just before death, 9 people were there. 9 people were in the family. 9 people were in the family. And their average age was 33. Because 31 is the average 4 years ago. After 2 years after that, death has taken place. So average age just before death was 33 years. Therefore, sum of all the members, including the dead, including the person that died, including the dead, was equal to 33 into 9. Because that time 9 family members were alive. So 33 into 9, so 297. But the person who has died is 41 years old. So you can say that the sum of ages of remaining 8 family members, is equal to what? 297 minus 41. So 297 minus 41. So that comes out to be equal to 256. 256. So average of remaining members. So average of remaining members is equal to 256 divided by 8, because one person is already dead. So 8. So this is equal to 32. But please understand, this average that you have calculated is the average just after death. But death have occurred 2 years ago. 2 years ago. So if you find the current average of these remaining 8 people, so therefore I am writing the remaining part here. Therefore, current average age of these remaining 8 people, today is equal to 32 plus 2. That is equal to 34 years.